Calling it all in, I'm calling it, I'm balling, I'm calling it, I call it a shot. I've been calling the shots. They've all been calling the cops, and I've been calling them stop. I've been calling them to say I don't want to be hauling it away to a different kind of place, like I'm hauling all the hay and I'm looking for the rake. Searching with a fine-tooth comb to try to find out if you can come home with me, or if it's tricky to try to see if we can light the whole place ablaze and see if we can take a break and wonder why we're all running and where's the fire, and why are we so wired on things that we don't even understand how to connect. Sometimes we're just so jumbled up we don't know what way is up, and we wonder if we're gonna get the place that a good thing can come from, or if everything will just kind of crash and fall down again, and if we'll drown in this life we've created for ourselves and try to find out what else could help. If there's nothing for me here, why am I here, there, and then all over the place trying to find out why first seems to be the place that I can't achieve. Getting everything and always feeling a little bit emptier each time I do. The more I improve, the more I realize there's more of a place to improve to. Climbing a ladder of success and wondering if there really is a next, or if it was someplace I had already passed and I never had a grasp. I thought I had everything under control, but then I realized that I was. And being controlled by everything was not something I want. Even when I thought it was something that I wanted to do to other people who were around me and drowning in the same kind of sorrows, and although I thought I had the answers, I could not rid myself of the cancer that came. Feeling lost and stuck in a cage and wondering why it's a place that I can't find, like a maze. I'm a rat in a race, and I just feel like I gotta escape somehow, so wow. Can we just find a little bit of a crack in the system and see if we can find out if we can get back to it? Isn't it just the place that we are all together? We're all together, an accumulation of lost people trying to find out if we can equal what we do at the latter end of things. An equilateral, later day. It's the time and place, and I think there's times and places for things and times to escape, and I think that we need to find out if we can come deeper into the place that we need to be racing. All of the races, all of the places, all of the people trying to find out if the space is in between or if the place is just we need to... Where are we? Why? Why are we always just trying to find the car that we all seem to want, and we don't want the car that we want, and sometimes it's always... and then other times there's none left. We're turning right, we're turning left, we're turning just to be like a jet and go into a place that's not so plain, but we're like everyone else. Plain and simple, we're all disfigured, our faces and the places that we just try to take. It's a little bit of a taste test if we can wait and see who's on next, and if we're on the deck. If we're not on the deck, then you're on... Oh my gosh. I wish I could stop. I wish I could just turn it all off. Go back to the times when I'd just sit there and look up at the sky, or try at least, but through the leaves all I could see is a ray or two of sunshine, and now I feel like I'm trying to find out if there's any light left in this house, and I feel like it's all ran out, and so I'm running out to try to find if I can find anything I'm hoping for. So we're sore, jumping and jumping and hunting and running, and conclusion after conclusion, delusion after delusion, we're finding the conclusions that we always wanted were never the things that we were hunting. searching for the things that we thought we need, and they'd leave us so quickly that everything else seemed so tricky, and tripping over our own ideals and ideologies. And I think that we all just need to take a little bit of a break and see if the mistakes we make and the hard times we have can actually be the things that land us in a wonderful place, instead of hopping around down a rabbit hole. Jumping off the wall, we're so wired, we're tired, and we don't know why we can't find a single place to take a break when all we do is seem to break down. We can't now, so the glue we have is all we grasp to. We can't open our grasp because of the glue. We've got things tied so tightly we can't see if we might be the thing causing the problem to begin with, and we can't begin if we don't know where the beginning is, when we're so focused on the end, when everything feels like that's all it will come to anyway. Crazy days, crazy wait. Can we just get out of our days and find the place that we're in and stop replacing them? I don't know. I've just been wondering if each time the rain falls, it's as if it's trying to find a place that it can stay. And when it gets picked back up again, it just wonders if it's being pulled from its home. Does it feel alone, unless it's up there in the clouds, where now at least it's on top of the world? But it doesn't feel like it's on solid ground until it falls back down. And even at its lowest point, at least it knows that it can't get any worse, until it starts getting a little bit comfortable and pulled from the place, like we're pulled from the clay. We're pulled and we raise to try to find if we can reach a higher height. We like it, right? So we say, so we think, so we drink. Again and again and again, to pretend that we can find what's at the bottom of things. At the bottom we need to fill it up again, fill my cup, and then we runneth over. Running sober is a little bit easier than running drunk, but we run once a month, and the rest of the time we are looking through the grapevine to try to find if we can see if hidden things can be a little more clear, if we're not so. We stop though, we stop and we go and we go and we stop and we row, and the boat doesn't seem to know if it'll fill itself with water or if it's gonna just sit on top of the waves that we take so much time to try to stabilize. It's like life. It's shaky, it's sturdy, it's strong, and it's weak, and it's something else tomorrow, and it's different next week. We all find the things that we need if we can find the things that we think, until we realize that we think that we need, and we don't, and we won't, and we might, and we've tried, and we'll try again, as long as we can. But as long as we're, man, I don't, no, did I? I didn't. I missed it. I jumped again, and I jumped, but then they pulled the rug from underneath my feet, and I think I need to breathe a little deeper than I was before, but I need to purr instead of being sure I can meow my way out of this place like a cat. I'm a scaredy. Scaredy. Even though I know the truth, I think I need to know I'm youthful at heart. Otherwise, I can't make my art thou who you say you are now? Ooh, I thought I was right. I thought I would find if I just kept turning the pages. But instead of coming all the way back around, it just ended up coming back to the out. We go from out to in and come back out again, and we open the cover just to close it on the other side. We close it and we try to hide by thinking outside the box, when inside's where we could really get lost if we tried. I think we try too hard, though, and think we can close the book, but once we look, it seems to just consume us. Consumed with what? Consumed with lust? A human being doing what we think is right and think that life can be what we might want it to be, who needs a little bit of a course correction. Or you're just in a place where you space out again to find out how expansive it gets to get lost in the abyss, in the midst of a lot of trials, troubles, tribulation. You're taking a route that ends up dumping out a lot of hardships on you, and you can't sail your boat home. Oh no. Don't bring it up again. Don't. You won't. You wouldn't. You couldn't. You shouldn't, at least. I think that's what I was told. I fit the mold. They said not to be too bold, and so I italicized my mind and tried to find if I could quote what I was taking, the quotations, the places, and the spaces in between. All the words only mean what the words can be, if they have a little bit of a gap from the truth. In fact, we have facts that don't seem to last, and I don't understand that. So how do I do it? How do I grasp? How do I grasp if the glue stick just has a endpoint to it and then intact? It's intact until it cracks. And I need to glue things back together, whether I can or not. I got my hand in hot water, boiling over, rolling and wondering, and something seems to be sending me right over. Like the Mars place, I'm rovering all in space. I've got it all. It's great. Don't wait. If I were to wait, I couldn't have taken anything but the break. And I ran out of glue. I had to do the things when I asked you if you need some help, just so you could help me by helping me seem like someone might listen. I'm indifferent. I'm just different. I'm in it, though. A minute, bro. Give me a minute. Oh, it's too much. You've touched the wrong nerve here. I think you've served. We're in a different kind of cafeteria now, actually. You're hearing us how through the microscope. Phone, Mike, oh. No, Mike, don't. Don't do it, don't. Don't do it, don't. He sued him. He must have done it because he moved in so quick. He wasn't gonna wait, and he didn't care about the dates or the mistakes he would make. It's just against the law, but he's above it, and I think it's something. Watching everybody do what they do, looking all around, and everybody wants to just prove to me that you can. Would you? Can you try it? Try it again. Try it again. It's over. The deadline is come and gone, and you've just run right on like a sentence. You've sentenced yourself to a life of trials and troubles and trip. Call it a triple threat, I call it. It's getting bigger yet. It's growing by the minute, and we think that we're in the thick of it, and we can't get any worse with this, and I'm telling you that I'm searching just to try to find the prophecies that we can think, or just opinions of others written down in a book. But it gets easier and easier when you give your children eyes to see, so you don't have to tell them things, but they can look. Open them up, open them up, open them what? Open your eyes, open them. Try the best you can to fly and see that you will not disguise something outside of yourself, and see if you can help yourself understand what else you need to do, or if you... Who are you to tell me what to? I'll tell you who. I'll tell you, and I'll tell him, and I'll tell her. I'll tell your grandparents off when they're not telling you the truth, and you're off. 10 in the wrong, and you don't know what's on. Then it's off. It's always just the switch, the bait and switch. They take it just to come back again and tease you with it. They tease you just a bitter, just a minute. It's just so bitter. I'm just in it. I just wish it was a little bit of a sweeter kind of life. I try to taste and see, and I tasted it. We need to taste it again. I'm just taking them, then I'm taking them back to school, and now you're back to cool from being someone who they thought was just a dirty person who fooled them all, and they were all in their own delusions and thinking that they were in a movement that you were already doing, and now they're back to you. They're back to school, and you're back to school, and everyone again when it's cool. When it's cool if you're wrong, then it's cool if you're right. It's cool if you try, and if you realize you can't ever, and you won't ever fly. I just want to find the ground and see if I can hold on to it and kiss it a little bit under my feet. I get a grip with my toenails, and oh, well, I wish I could take my boat and sail. But they crushed it. They crushed it, they tore it, they tattered it up. They tattered it. What is next, and why am I in line again if I don't want to be trying to win? Why are they all trying to win if I can grin when I'm in last place? How come we can't all figure out it's just a rat race? Oh my gosh. A bunch of rodents, and you don't even know if you're going to get to the place that you're trying to go in. The burrows you're taking a different kind of break and making a lot of different kind of different. It's kind of different if it's kind of just a journey of life. I'm journeying right. Everyone else is going left, and I'm just trying to... Can we just try to find a different kind of... Where's the tempo? In a world full of curiosity. In a world full of space-age stations and people in their place that they claim they're going so fast when they're moving stationary. A songbird, they all turn into the same thing at the end. Pretend that the pot of gumbo wasn't so strong, bro, and all you know is how to be weak and call it strength. I think they call it place that they'd like to be, but it's a cage hung above the ground. And was it now that fun of a ride when you can't even find where the ground is again? You want to get grounded. Well, when? Well, you make the decision because it's up to you. It's something cool to be who you really are. But you don't even know if you can go back to that place. You got scared out of yourself. Not out of your wits, but out of it just to get back into it again, to find out that it's a place you could have never even left. In a world where we're all turning, just to turn back again. 180 plus 180 might be taking a double take to try to make a spin again. 360, it's tricky to add up. Take a break for like 5 minutes and see if we can switch it to a new year. Everyone will cheer when the fireworks go off and see if you can stop and try to make a resolution or two and resolute to you or someone else who you think you love for about 5, 4. We count down, and we all now need to see if we can see that 3 is a trinity for a reason. It's a book of reason. I'm finding the reasons that the book I'm reading is a good book. I think I need it. I think even if I didn't think I need it, I would need it. It's a thing I can't achieve if I try to achieve it on my own. Come home with me. Can you go anywhere you want to go on this road alone? If you take a rowboat and go home, then you're gonna go rowing though till like the end of days. I've been ending things I don't need, setting them off like a firework. The fireworks to burn what was in the past, and then I rise from the ash and I catch them all. I catch a glimpse of why it just seems to be so misty in here, and I think that we're all bricked up on what we brocked or broke. I broke open a hose, and now I don't know if I can overflow or if it's gonna flow down the road. I've been going home, and so I thought, but now I can't stop when the water's taking me, not to the top, but it's dropping down to the ground again. Gravity's grabbing me and pulling me down by my sleeve, where I used to wear my heart, and now I don't know how. I can't get off my charts. My charts are all just things I have to do. I think I have a list for you. I've listed things off so many times I couldn't even stop. I wrote it down. I wrote it now. I rode to town and I rode out. I ran out, and now I'm back down on my ground, on the knees. I don't know what I need. I need some help. I need some, well, can I just find some help from you, please? Everything we need, everything just seems to change again. I've been changing, but then the change just keeps changing. I've been going through so many changes, I can't even find if I can understand if I'm just deranged or if it's just a place that I just understand. I stand, what's the standard? I'm a stand in. I've been standing in a place that I can't miss. It's just a place that I can't get. I can't mount to what I thought I'd just take a break, please. It's like a baked bean. It's like I think I need to just cook a little longer. And people keep trying to ring the alarm and sound the waves and sound the place. And it's not a sound escape. I've been sounding off like I'm not quite on the mark. My name is Evan. I've been letting everyone know that I don't go where Matthew ran to, Luke and John, and you've been gone off again. Why are we so tired if we're wired into the May, June, July? I try to find a trick or two, but it's April Fools to you. Cancel my membership. I can't even remember if I made one in the first place, because in the first place I wasn't in the first. I got here after the rest of them. A lot of them got arrested, son, trying to run to the recreation station taking a break and wondering if they could save themselves a little bit of something for later. Grabbing the saber, turning from one end to the other. Such a good guy until he tried to be a Vader, evading things he didn't seem to like, and his life turned from so lost in a daze he can't even take a time to try to find where he came from in the past. From green to red, he used to be the person who he always said he wanted, and then a bigger thing came up, and something that he could hunt just peeked around the corner. Something he couldn't order. In the order of operations, he jumped into the game just to see if he could play it to win. Without a grin. He went from laughing a lot to laughing less often, feeling dead inside and finding why life is so much harder when he tries. Tries to be me, tries to be clean. I think it's easier to see if we can try to stay clean instead of become something we always used to be. Tormenting and twisting things and breathing. Please, can we just open the screens and see if things are real on the other side of what they seem? Trekking down a treacherous truck and trailer route to try to find the house we used to inhabit. You can't just be the rabbit without the tricks. If the hat is just like this, it's an empty place to sit if you are higher than the cliff. I hired him. The cliff is higher if we just sit on top of it and miss the point. Dropping off is a place we often just don't want to go. We miss. When we try to hit the top of it, we drop back down to the bottom just to see if we can breathe. Some dense air, they tend to scare the youth with the things that they do to see if they can get them to obey them through the fear. It happens every year. Christmas cheer to Christmas veers off to something else that used to be something that they claim it isn't anymore. They put an X, they say it's not something that we need, but we need less, so they say. So they just take it and make it a different kind of thing, replace it with something that we might just think could fill a spot. It fills us often with a little bit of happiness that just seems to flee and fly away as quickly as it might have came. And I think that we're like a caiman trying to get a grasp and a mouthful of anything that we can have and roll inside of it. See if it's trickier, if we can try to get a little bit of salivation in a place that just seems to be taken. Person as good as you and turning them right into a boggy place like mud. I don't like to be so bugged. You've been roaching often like a cockroach. You're dropping out of the sky from the ceiling, and I'm trying to take a nap, and actually I can't when you're just sitting there and chattering on again about some things that you thought would bring something something that they didn't. You can't even say it clearly. You can't even say it clearly. You're lost, dazed, confused. You turned into a person where you lit it up, and soon it'll burn out like a candlestick. The candle's lit just to be placed under this bedtime story you tell yourself of how your ship will always sail. So you go into the storm, storming off, and stories often lead to us believing what's not true. So truth is truth, and you are just misled like the youth. They tune their agenda to. They tend to do some things. They move it long again. It's gone, and then it's back. The second we leave it, the second it needs to just come back in, and it's like the leaflets were flipping through, and you're flipping to a different channel. Snowy seasons, so it seems to just be clearer the more we leave it alone, and so every time you go and try to make it something deeper and better and more and better and more and better and more, and whether the weather is weather, I don't know. The second I think the sun comes out is when it starts to blow. The cold wind blows, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it home. I find a shelter in somewhere else with a lot of sweltering heat. The contrast in the cold and warm, it always seems to leave me with a thrill of the chill and the burning feeling too. I just can't find an in-between state, and so I think I may just like the hype, just to drop back down on the ground and find if I can start to gripe for some help. Oh well, if nobody comes, at least the snow blows. Because if it didn't, I'd burn up and wonder what would be on the opposite end if it could exist. If not, I'd pretend, and I'd just miss the contrast of what's not actually permanent. Permanently as I am just who I am going to be. Turning and twisting in a kaleidoscope of colors. I don't think I want this. But if I take it anyway, will I just take what I am given? Wonder if it's just what it isn't, if I can take a little bit of a twist and turn it just to earn a little bit of cash, go back and spend it at the same place that it got placed in my grasp. Full circle, we turn toward purple, we earn something, I thought. But everything I picked up, I eventually have to drop, otherwise I might not continue to walk. And I thought a thing I thought, and I think I got a little bit of sting inside my pot. Burning hot is a lot different than the snow. So I've been wishing for the cold wind to blow. I run from it, it runs from me, and running to things when things seem to leave. I think that I can achieve some things that I never seemed to be. But if I can tell myself a tall tale, I can just say I'm going to go all hell. Breaks loose when I thought I'd make a truce with the good and the bad to try to find out if I could have an equal opportunity lended to me as everybody else, because they say that we're equal human beings, and doing schemes seems to be what makes us the thing that we are. Driving ourselves crazy in this car. Not able to sit in neutral, driving so quickly forward just to get cornered and back ourselves back out. Really, now we've backed into a corner that we can't seem to figure our way out. The in-between, it seems to be the place that we all need to see if we can sit. I wish it just would be a little clearer. The mirror that I look inside, I think I find myself just cleaning more often than I find myself just looking to be gleaning. If I can find a thing inside of me that I could take and not just try to leave, I think I'd like to leave some things instead of taking all I mean. Is all we seem to do is try to do some things we don't need to. And I think if we could just add one, then we could just add one. And I think that we could add one. Can we have 3 of things we need? I think a lot. If I think I'd stop thinking, I think I'd stop thinking. I think if I dropped, I'd stop sinking. I think if I'm not, I'd stop blinking. If the top just seemed to flop on over on its side and find a little break in life, then maybe I could break in, right? And find out what's really inside. If they're telling me it's something that it isn't, then I just think that I get it when I think I get a little tired of thinking. I think I get tired of sinking, but when I really start sinking, I realize that that's what I've really been needing. It brings me back to the truth of all things that I thought that I could run from, and someone just wondered if I wasn't a person that I was. I was a person that I tried to be, a person that they wanted, just to see if I'd stop hunting for a little bit of acceptance. And the lesson that I learned was I turned out to be someone who I thought I'd need just to search for who I need. It was always there inside of me. I climbed a tree. I tried to be in a solid place. I stopped in space and time. I ordered myself something fried. Like my brain cells, I tried to prevail. I ended up winding up in jail, up and up. I'm on the up, and I'm up at the break of dawn. The same as I was at dusk, waiting and taking the break that I needed to try to find which way is up. Trying to sleep, and I'm trying to be who I thought that I need. instead of just being who I was in between. The scalding heat and the bitter cold, and I think that I stuck my tongue to a pole, but when I woke up, it wasn't such. In my dream, where I thought that I was stuck, I wasn't. What a life is this, and what kind of life is just a life if I can stop with this searching? If I'm searching, I'm turning out to be someone else except for who I am meant to see. When I look inside the mirror, it gets clearer the less I try to change. Okay. So you're telling me I've been selling things to people that I thought would always be the answer? Festering and fermenting and just letting the cancer grow. It's strange, it's great, it's wait, slow it down again and take a little bit of a break to see what happens if you don't have the glue and there's nothing you actually can do to put it back together. Whether you thought you could or not, you would stop yourself in your tracks and ask if this is the best plan. Changing your mind and your where do we go to find it? Where do we go if I just am a different person than I missed? When I looked right past the looking glass to find out if I could get there fast, or if I no, I guess not. Sorry to all the people who were equal until you weren't. I'm sorry for all the steeples that were the needle until it turned, toppled over, and everyone inside who thought they'd find the things they'd like realized when it came crashing down they'd drowned inside the truth. And it all ends one day, so why do we wait to try to see if it could all be fake? What if we just leave it up to fate? Will we find the things we've been looking for when we're at the bottom of the lake? Whether you try to hide or you try to find the truth of life, it always will just be the thing it seems to be if we don't think it seems to be anything, but just let it come to pass. Passing everything that comes to see what happens, and if there's anything that goes against the norm and doesn't run, why would it leave if it was always underneath? If it could always just achieve the type of thing that we all need, sitting in between the good and the bad. And actually, I had a grasp one time until I grabbed the glue when it started to break, and I couldn't imagine what I'd do if there was a crack that I'd fall through, if I didn't know So I thought again, and I thought again, and I thought again, and I dropped it in, and I returned the ballot to find if I made the right mistake or the wrong decision. If I chose, or if I just happened to be the one that things just dumped out onto. It's not true, it couldn't be. I shouldn't need anything that just comes because I just want to work for it. Like the forest, it's there, but not if the scared emotion comes up when the trees just don't get out of our way. Why can't I take a break and try to find a place that doesn't seem to leave? Oh, I just need to leave. I just need to see if I can see. And in order to do that, I have to get past everything in my way. I won't just take a break. Because then I might break. I might just fall right off the train tracks, and I don't know what I would have if I didn't make sure that I could do what I could do to make sure that I could land. I might not hit it. A crash landing might just land me in a place I can't believe. But if I'm there, so why am I scared, and why can't I just take a leap? Taking things to the extremes to try to find a leak, I need a break so I can take the glue and just repair the seams. I've been repairing things, I've been compared to things, and the things they seem to leave, I just don't want to be a thing I'm not. I don't want to be a thing of not. I don't want to be doing things for not. I do not think I need to stop. Stop it. Would you drop it again and see if you can be content with leaving it on the floor? There always will be more. Because where that came from, you came from who takes a journey alone, and how no, it can't be. Actually, there seems to be some truth to life. You're doing right in your own eyes until you do it wrong. You tweet and seem to sing a song. The chorus goes the place where the poorest go, but you just want your boat to row so the pores are holes, and you've been pouring so much in with not much compensation. Something seems to be a little different lately. I've been taking more time to try to see if the morphine that I need is just the thing that helps me breathe, or if the air I'm choosing is poisoning me. Doing this always leaves some silt at the bottom. Can I get to the bottom of it? If I get to the bottom, will it stay there with me, or will it pass on through to the rest of you, and the less of fuel I have, the more I seem to grab, grasping at straws, and they all just have a bottom to them, the cause that we are fighting for seems to be more impactful to us than the thing we thought we'd love. We thought we loved, we thought we want, we thought we, I don't know. But I'll think about it. I think I doubt it. I think I'm drowning. I think we're out just to come back in. We can't win unless we lose on the other end of two. There's one more of us, and surely such opposition as this is just a thing that we can tip a scale only if there's another side. I think the more that I think I'd like helps me realize I can't be the only one in life, or there wouldn't be another side. And there couldn't be a place to hide. There couldn't be a place that I'd be content if I could not place last to find the tricks up my sleeve to try to make them believe I made it on my own. And I don't know if I can go, but I'll show them that I know. One day maybe I could believe the things I try to make them think are happening, and grabbing things just to watch them slip right up my sleeve. The tricks I don't want are the tricks that seem to haunt me, and something just wants to be in my path when I ask it to leave. Opposition, stop with wishing, stop it just in the kitchen to find out if there's a cooler place to this. A place where I can get a little bit of oxygen. Freezing temperatures, freezing, let 'em turn like a ball. We all roll across the ground, accumulating things, taking our dreams and balling them up in the snow so we can get a orange carrot nose. Oh, now it makes more sense. The more that we accumulate, the more we take to rid it from our lives if we're talking about more being time. The sun comes out. Now I don't want to melt again. I felt it, right? I thought I did. The warmth I'd get if I could just get off the ground, rising and trying to find out how they do it, the movements the birds can have, and the birds will land just to fly again. And I seem to fly just to land again, and I can't just win. It doesn't seem it. It doesn't seem it. I land on the sea. I cement myself in this identity I have. The identity I grasp a thing or two. I think I need a move. Moving. I move from A to Z, and in between I think I need a F. For last place, for false, for fake, for truth, for take a break and say a snake or two can warn you. Oh, it's true. The false becomes true when the true becomes false of its own, and its home is the very place it would roam in the opposite lane. If they drop it, it's great because putting the pedal to the metal makes the metal. Be late. The appointment you thought you'd get to, you were so quick to run. You hit something or someone else, or wondering if some more of this might just pour it into your vessel just to fill, but the holes you get, you just can't go without the cracks. You fill your cup just to watch it spill. You watch it spill just to fill the holes. The holes you need are the holes you sink inside of, trying to find what is wrong with life, and you can't seal the cracks you have, because then you would have found your place in this life, and it's a life you didn't plan. If your plans come to fruition and you get what you've been wishing for, you wish for more, but you can only fill till the brim is where you reach. So you search and search to try to find a hole inside so you don't breach the top of this, and you often just wish that you could preach. They preach it as if they don't care if you listen. They preach it as if they don't care if they get it. They preach it, and I am just seasick, but I think I need it, the life that I want. How are they so content? They're so content. They don't just let a single thing attack their character and change the way they play the game, and I'm ashamed of the one I've picked, but I can't just get myself to let go. Even though I make the cracks for some things to see past so I can glue it all back, until I look back and realize I missed a line or two, and they seem to move and expand the pace that they crack and break, and they fall again, and the fall is just what I put all my hope in. I'm hoping I don't just get back to the sunny weather, because whether I'd love to accept it, I can't just accept it. I'm sorry, except when I really am, because I'm just downtrodden, and often I'm looking at all them who somehow just deal with life, and I'm always saying we're not alone, when I feel so alone, and they are alone, and they don't seem to feel like they are. They feel like the car that they're driving will operate better if they can just take their hands off the wheel, and I steer, learning how to do it to the best that I can move it with my own 2 feet. Why do I always need? I live in lacking abundance, and I lack the abundance, and they all seem to want just what they don't want. If they look to a being they don't seem to see, and I can't understand it myself. So I trust in myself, and I trust it. It helps for a second or two, and then I I'm stuttering over my own beliefs. I'm sewing things, so it seems I'm entangled again. And it never seems to let up. It never seems to let a single minute go by without me wondering why. I get an answer, and I can't answer the next question that comes. And I wonder and wonder how they don't hunt. They don't get what they want. They say they get what they need. They say they don't care, but they'll try to achieve. And if it doesn't work, it must not have been the plan that had been laid. And I can't escape wanting what I want, and I'm hunting, and I jump, and I fall again. The heights that I reach, they will leave, but the others, they seem to be content at the sea's shore. Surely there's more we can leave if we... All the preaching needs to stop if we can just reach the top, I think we'd be, I guess I don't know either. I guess I don't. But that doesn't mean I don't want to. So I'll search and I'll search and I'll comb and I'll pick and I'll prod and I'll plead to myself. Because help will leave, and so the help we need isn't healthy. See if it's not from me. A lonely, solitary life, and I'll tell them all that we're fine and we're not alone. If you trust in yourself, you can be the one to help everyone else. And somehow they still just keep seeming to trust in something they must be delusional for. Can we call it a pearl? A great price that we pay? Can we call it a polish? Can we haul it away? They all just say that it all decays, and I just say, can we just take every effort we have and try to grab onto everything that could possibly pass us by? As the passerbys go, they all just grow into a worse version of what the seeds that they so desperately wish they could have with their delusional concepts of things they can't grasp. Under the steeple, are they in a peephole? Looking for people they will never see fully in this life. Can I enlighten them? Enlighten them. A light just went off in my mind. I get it. I get it. It's because they're so lost and because they're so scared. They'd rather be delusional, trusting in something that's not there than just trusting in themselves when that's when at least they could try to get where they need to be. But they must be more empty than me. They talk about a cup filling up till it runneth over. I can keep filling my cup and it never ends. Because there's a bottom to it that has a bunch of cracks. And every time I fall, I never land. And I don't want to. I'd rather not accept it. And so instead, I'll just run to the next big adventure. Like a swine flu, I might do some things just to be a big jet, like a piglet. I think that we get exactly what we work for, so work toward everything you want. It's up to you. Create a destiny or two and see if you can choose. Anything's better than staying stagnant. I can't imagine wishing and hoping and believing in things, having faith that just leaves you to delusions. So please. You think you're going to a place once you leave? Talk to me about it after it happens. I'll be here on the ground with imagination being the table that I turn around again. I'll turn my imagination to whatever I can take it to and take a view on life and see if I can find what's for me and you. Well, you claim there's universal truth. I'll make it up as I go because it's a show, and I'll make you know. Oh, I'll make you believe. I've been making some things. Sorry. Sorry. And a third. There can't be a conclusion or we couldn't be deterred. So they say, though. So they say, go wherever you want. The direction you haunt must be the direction you love. Put your passion in and you get back to it every time you get off the track that just seems to be leading to a different place every time. You thought you knew where you'd go, and no, you thought you knew, but you really don't. So we have a delusion. We have a place that we're moving just so that we can find a different place to move into to do some soul searching. Searching the soul just to see if your soul is hurting for a reason you can fix from some generational shifting into a different gear. We're here, improving generation after generation after it's a generation after a generation. I wonder if I'm gonna be the one to find the answers. Everyone and their cancers, their religions and beliefs, and the things that they think can be universal to me. I'm a human, I'm a being, and I'm being what I think is best. And if I can't choose, then why can you? And how is all the rest? Just what it is if I don't get to understand it for myself. If I can't believe a single thing, then how could it all help? Why do you claim that life is a thing that has some truth? If I'm a youth and you're an older person to me, and dude, I think a lot has changed. It's a new place and a new age, and I think I could take you to school with a schoolyard that you hardly know how to navigate because you're an old man. Wait, you really think you know better than me? Catch up with the times and catch up with my... Fine. I'm just... Why? You think that I need to be reeled back in? I think that you can start to have a little bit more of imagination. The storybooks you look inside of are holding you down to what you tried a long time ago to tether your beliefs to. So you succumb to an agenda, and every Sunday you just tend a old wound, attending to a meeting with some people who will tell you what to believe. Come with me and see if we can achieve what we believe, an imaginative kind of life, I'm stutter-stepped again. I tripped over my own beliefs and stepped out of my pen. The muddy ground is now a town, a place that I could just find a stick inside the mud. I tried to find out what a life I'd live would be if it was up to me, and doesn't seem like it's up to me. What's the agenda and who's on the roll? Can we take the attendance and see if it'll take a toll? If we watch them fall away from the place we all came from at the start, does it tug at our beliefs, the things we think, or the strings that are in our heart? Out of the love that's sent from above, we try and try to mark the line in the sand that they shouldn't cross, but the land and the sand and the ocean, and we're floating and we're gone again. It all just it sinks. We think we need we're building castles out of sand. We're building houses out of mud. We're thinking we can all just love the rain until it dumps and then it washes away our dreams. And now we all wish we could see if we could have a solid place to land on a ground of rock and stop just sifting through the sands of time to try to find why time just leaves. If I could be the creator of my destiny, I'd create something different than the ticking that just drives me nuts. If I can't stop the tick of the clock, the drip of the drop of the water on my head, they water me, I'm dead. I want to be alive again. I try it just to find out that it's bitter. And I thought I'm a winner. I thought I was. I wasn't, though I was a person who was stuck inside a thing I was. A pawn in a game. A pawn is a great big place that I'm on. A chessboard, they king me. I think we all can see if we can be the king. If the king will leave, who remains, and what kind of game will I be playing? If the game I'm playing has rules that change, and why again, and why again, and why the sands of time, the sands I'm like the sand and time. I'm trying to find out why my life is running out. I'm running now to try to find out if there's an end to this, but I run out of it. I run out of oxygen again. I run out some solid ground. It actually sounds like something good right now. So how do they seem to find what they find inside the rows of pews? They're rowing, dude, they're rowing. Who could row like you? I'm rowing to the place to get some glue. I need the cracks to seem less broken, but I want to be okay with being not okay. I'm broken and I want to fix the holes today, but I create a hole the more I fix the holes. Understanding that every time I fix one, it's a big toll on me. With everything to believe, I have nothing I could believe is actually accurate. Because I could believe it's accurate just to believe it's not accurate, and I can't just get to the bottom of it. Why is it all just coming untied, untangled like a loose string? I take a turn for the worse, I turn it reverse. Is the direction opposite of where I'm trying to go, so if I fall forward on my nose, will that help me? Even though I just want to take a seat and take a break and see if we can find the lake. When we're on the bottom of things, climbing to the top of it leaves us searching and searching again. They invited me too. They said I'll sit in the pew, and the only thing that I'll have to do is listen. I don't have to succumb to a belief, but I can just see if it'll resonate with me. I've been taking things off and on, often gone to a different belief than I don't know anymore. And they all seem so sure. How are they sure when they don't know? They can't know. They don't know. They have faith in some home that they don't think is actually far away. Seems so far-fetched to me. They use the word that they use the word I can't take. They call it faith. I can't take it. If I can't understand it, then I can't fake it. I understand that I can fake it, so I make it seem like I've got it all figured out. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What I'm really all in is my delusions. The place that I think that I'm so tuned in. I set down the instruments and the instrumentals just get so loud in my mind. When the music stops, it all gets too real for me to pretend it is. I get to the end of my reel and I can't tend to this slack that I give to bring it right back in. If I were actually at the end of my rope, I'd choke and croak and go insane, so I play the game pretending things can be what I could make. With a little bit of slack in my line, I'll give it away just to take back what's mine. But somehow they always are at the end of theirs. They're at the end of their line and they don't care. They find out that they've got time when they didn't have any time to find. It boggles my mind. It drives me insane. Wondering why the game they play seems to not have any cracks or breaks. I have a belief, I have something that I hold on to until it leaves, and they just seem to have a grasp on things, even when they're in the back of their dreams. So much they could do, why don't they try? So much that I do, and I still just hide. There's so much we can find, but it's all outside. If you go to church, then you're confined. It's a big old place, a big escape. I think you're trapped in, but wait. They don't seem to be trapped. Somehow they get back to the place that they were when the world seems to turn. And I just get dumped and tossed and twisted and shaken and rattled, and I'm enlisted in the freedom that life can bring outside of the steeple and pews that you all just hide inside, pretending that you can trust. You know you can't, right? You know you can't find what you're looking for inside this life you live. You might feel better if you just step outside and see what you can believe in, instead of having some faith in things you can't see. It's either what you make it or it's what you pretend it is. It's either if you're taking, then you can't be lending this time you have to another one, and someone wants a journey for you that you don't have for yourself. You either make the plans or your plans can't have an outcome that ever could last. Why do you claim you don't have to figure it out on your own? I don't know, do we end it on a lighthearted note just to let people know that I'm not actually crazy? Or am I crazy? I don't know. You tell me. I've been rowing them in like I don't wanna sing off key, but I'll sing for you and me. Even if I sing off key, I've been doing things. Red's really out of tune. I call it all in because what else would I call it? Call it all in because I'm just ballin'. I'll find the tune in the afternoon. I'll find the tune if I'm back to what I used to do when I was just a little boy. What I used to do when I was just a little boy. Taking everybody by storm. I think that we are just buying things from the stores, and we don't know what we're buying. Don't know why we're eyeing up the candy down the aisles. If we think we're just a child, then why are you living such a spicy life? Living a mild life is the life that we all could find. A little bit of harmony in the things we need. I've got some things, and I'm calling you, and I'm calling me, and I'm calling us, and we all just need to see if we can be equal sheep, sons and daughters of a king. I'm sorry that you think I'm crazy, but I'm sorry that you think that I'm crazy. It's up to you when it's something who everybody else can do for themselves. And well, the wealth we sell off to the different kind of people, often people forget we're equal. I'm sorry that you think that I am who I am not. I'm sorry. But I won't stop. Got all your opinions of me, got all of your, I don't even care. I don't care to talk about you. I don't care to talk about me. I really want to sit here and talk about my King, my Savior Jesus Christ. And I think you all might have a different kind of view or opinion on life. But I'm sorry to say, we take a little bit of things, or a lot of things, to a little bit of, well, I think we just take it all and take it to the extremes and call everyone something that they're not because we think it's fun, it's gossip, and it's all just word of mouth. And my words now are, they've been taking my words and making them, well, seem to be something that I never said, so I love it just recorded, documented under the gift of video. And so if anybody ever tries to claim a single thing, including me, we can't just think that things are not what they are and make them what they seem to be. I'm sorry that you think you can just make things what you think you want, but whether you're a woman or a man, you cannot understand what life is fully. You might just help everybody turn to the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. And I think that we all get torn up with people using things in the ways they're not supposed to. People singing off keys, and they think that they know who they can be. And they just seem lost in life, and we all just find that life is full of strife. And I think that my strife I get might just lead me to a place I sit, and, well, I'd rather just stand in a holy place and be not moved than try to go somewhere else and be swayed and changed by the things that change. Who wants to really be a worldly human being, if you understand the difference, right? But if you don't get the difference, I'm just trying to be a vessel to help you understand that God is here, He's real, He's now, and however it sounds when you read the scriptures, it doesn't matter, not to me or you or anybody else or anyone else or any something. I don't want anything but God. Oh, and you can have all the opinions of me, and you can think that I'm just trying to be someone that sounds good or seems good, to seem like I could be someone who you could think could deliver some information that might help you a little bit. But I'm sorry if you think that I'm just someone I'm not. I'm only who I am, and that's me. And my name is Evan Strong. I'm the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. This is All In, episode 4. As far as I'm aware, it's episode 4. It's a series under In the Image Clothing Company Music, which is 1/4 of In the Image Clothing Company. So if you thought I was just someone I wasn't, that's on you. It's your fault. You're crazy. You thought I was crazy in this. You're taking everything to the extremes. I'm just trying to take it to the extremes too, and see if we can do, and see if we can do, and see if we can get weak enough in the knees to see if we can think we need to take a little bit of a break and pray and see if God is here today as He was yesterday, because tomorrow He's the same. Anyway, today's the day that it is. I'm crazy just to prove a point. It's like the people in the joint that go to places to play a character. Lock me up, throw me in jail, and see if you'll prevail. Misread and misguided, and we just try to find it. The life we wish that we could have, instead of just seeing if we can land in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You have to be all in to be able to do it. And you have to be, or the casualties that come along the way will send you searching and searching why you can't just stop the waves. You're drowning, I know, I get it. That's why they say the phrase, we're all in the same boat. But how we'll actually stay atop the waves is what I'm trying to show. Jesus Christ is the King of life. And not just if you hope. With your beliefs aside and your tryings to find what life could really be, God himself, the one in the flesh, he will always calm the seas. Call me crazy and say I'm taking things far past all the extremes. And I founded a clothing company to see if we could start just sowing seams. Sowing seeds and sowing seams, and so it seems they're just phrases, you know? But we take something that's broken and we cause it to be whole. If we behold the glory in the eyes of God, we can't do that if we think that we can do that. We'll never get to God if we think we can get to God. We're unworthy, we're unholy, we're sinful by nature, sensual, devilish, lustful, always looking for the answers instead of looking to the answer. It all festers and grows like a cancer inside, and we cannot just hide from the truth. You can believe anything you want. You can get caught on the new wave of the new age, and you'll always be on the hunt for something that always remains and just stays right underneath. It's not boastful or prideful, but it never seems to leave. Even when it seems to leave, it doesn't leave, and it I'm sorry. Because I know it personally, how lost we can get in life and how scary it can be. If someone was going to find the answer, wouldn't they have done it by now? How many more new ages do we need? Turning the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the fathers. Yeah. You'll never do it on your own. Mosiah 15 in the Book of Mormon. We have to taste and see. When it all seems like it's coming to an end, we can't pretend that it doesn't. After it doesn't. You're only delusional if you think you know what's going on. God keeps us on our toes. He doesn't want us to know. How else could we find our way back home if we never left? What does it really mean to be all in, though? What does it really mean? What does it really mean to be who you really are? What does it actually mean to be authentic? What does it really actually, seriously, what does it mean? How can we get to it? How can we really get to it? How can we get every single opinion and put them aside? What was there before all the opinions? What was there before all the beliefs? What was there and what will remain if it really doesn't leave? How good are you? How cool are you? How pretty are you? How handsome are you? How wanted are you and by who? And do you want them to want you? Why does it matter? Why are we here? Why are we doing this? What is the problem? Why can't we find the answers? What is going on here? Can we have a real inquiry before we try to find some real answers? You're trying to find answers to questions you don't even have. You're trying to answer other people's questions that you wouldn't even ask. Is he crazy? Well, lately, people aren't reflecting on themselves. They're looking at everybody else and trying to claim that everybody else will take the wrong kind of path in life when they don't know the path in life that they should try to find. They're searching. Trying to find a path in life I'd like to lead again. I'm just leading them into a different kind of place, and I think we just found it. I'm home, I'm going back to where I'm going actually. I'm going now, and now I'm going how? Do I just sow the seed? I don't know if we can just find the thing that we like to think we'd find if we hit the end of the line. I don't want to hit the end of my line, but we'd find it if we hit the end of the line. But nobody out there seems to try, leaving some slack and they getting back to where they were in the first place. Not in the past, but when they first passed the first game, and I found out that they thought they found out that they thought they found out now that you found out how, and I found now. I just found out that you found now a different kind of place to drown. How does it feel just breathing water and breathing air, and you breathe it? Ought to breathe some water or breathe some air or breathe something, and I don't care. I think everybody's just a little bit delusional, looking around and think that you can pull the answers out of a hat in the back of your pocket, in the back of the place. I think that you should stop it doing everything, and you think that you are coughing, closing off your own life. I don't think that life can be expensive if I just want to be the one that thinks I can decide, because why then is life not expansive for me if actually I can be the thing that decides it? I can't though, so I can't, bro, and I can't go through this life without trying to make a big old game of it and just trying to make everybody see that I don't want to make you see actually anything. I'm just trying to share the truth of life to you, and if you want to believe in something, that's up to you, but if you don't believe in nothing, then it's gotta be true, cause how could anything even be there if everybody else who isn't scared is not scared, and you're scared, and so there, and it's like a slap in the face. But actually take just a little bit of a break and get back to the faith, man. I'll cut it when I cut it. I'll cut it when I cut it. I don't want to be a cookie cutter person with something that they think they've just stumbled upon that's so great that everybody else in the pond should just try to swim along to. So I'll swim with my songs, dude, that are off key, and you won't be stopping me. Because even when I don't got a beat, I got a beat. And I'm sorry for things that don't seem to line up for you in your life, dude. That's when it gets real, and that's when we find the truth. As things start to not line up, and we try to realize that, well, what you gotta realize without trying is that life is real, guys, and I'm not lying, because you know that it's just like a lamb, and I'm a person that can understand this opposition to all things, and all we need to see is if we can see if we are not in charge of things. It gets easier the more that we seem to just leave things as they are. Trying to change everything, the game just leaves everybody else feeling worse at the end, and we all pretend we want to play before we start the thing, and the second it starts, you're trying to find an out, trying to find a bathroom break, trying to find an excuse you can make to get out of the thing that you got yourself into in the first place. Why didn't you just say you didn't want to play? claim you got some new age type of stuff. You think you're gonna get a new age, and well, no, you're just aging. At the same time, you're trying to say that everyone else can do some things to try to reverse the aging process, and you think that you're not crazy. Stop. Just see if there's truth to life, and I don't think it's something we really have to find. We just got to put everything else aside. Call me crazy, please. I think I need a little bit of a phone call to ignore again. I'm snoring. Then I waked up and woke up, and I woke up on the right side of the bed instead of the left side of the bed. My head feels a lot better when I do all that I can to say only what I mean, so I don't have to regret what I have said. I mean, what are we going to do in life? What are you going to do in life? You're going to try to make something new? I'm sorry, but you're not right. You're not correct, and I'm not right, but I'm correct if I'm collecting all the pieces of scripture I can bring to the table. Learning who God is, because God is. And that's what I'll be doing. My head will be dropped in straight down to the feet of the King. If I want things to mean something that actually lasts, everything else will be left in the past besides the truth. Just look back. It happens to the best of us, and it happens with the youth. It's always the new age kind of thing and the new place that we can seem to be getting to. I need to help bring the hearts of the fathers to the youth. Meshing somewhere in between, there's a lot of things that we can see are universal, even though we don't think they are. How different are you really? How unique of an idea do you actually have? Do your problems actually help you? When that's what you're holding the tightest to? As they're slipping from your hand? Call me a lyricist. Call me. Are you hearing this? Oh, no, I don't care. You don't have to either. Turn me off and go somewhere else and see what happens. That's how life is. It's kind of always just to see what happens. Something has to. And either it's fake or it's true. There's only two sides to things. Really. That's basically how it is. There's only two sides to things. And I want to be on the side that leads to me being reunited with the King. Buckle up for the ride if I'm trying to drive. But if we let God lead and take the wheel, He'll give us a choice. And if we don't hear that click when the seatbelt sticks, you might be waking up on the side of the road alone because you chose the freedom kind of life where you didn't have to find some universal truths that things will hurt you. Certain things that you could choose. Who gave you the choice? Because a lot of people won't. Jesus Christ is the King. of kings. He's the king who doesn't need a boat. He'll walk across the waves to save the person whose boat won't even float. You ran out of your glue trying to fix the holes that you made inside of the place you tried to build for yourself. And God will tell you that He will sail you without any wind to blow. He'll navigate you back to the place you came, even when you don't know which way is home. But you won't come up with it. You won't change it. You won't advance the truth. It's been there since the first man, and it will always surpass you. So high and mighty, so we might think, until we drop again. Like a drop in the bucket, we wonder, what if? We actually get it full. How would we feel? We wouldn't be able to handle it if we actually felt good all the time. We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves. We'd want something more. We'd look for a tragedy. We'd look for a break in the system. We'd look for a crack or a hole to put some focus on. In a perfect world, we'd all be empty. That's why it's so tempting. Because that's really what we want. We want to feel broken. We want to feel shattered. We want to feel bruised and empty. That's what we really want. And you know it. That's why you seek for anything if you don't seek for the king. You know it's what you deserve. And so does God. But He's perfect. He's merciful. He wants for you what you do not. He wants you to feel good and you want to feel miserable. And you make it happen too. I'm not only talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. I'm talking to the natural man. Mankind, the human beings, the ones placed here to just realize we'll never do it. And that's when we do it. The only winning that comes is when we realize we'll never win. And then you're free. Then you're actually free. You're actually free when you're in those pews, serving somebody else who's bigger than you, because that's the truth. I'll stop it when I stop it. I haven't been stopping very often. I'm one of those people who never gives up. Call it enduring to the end, I guess. Why not? Quitting doesn't sound very fun. I like the challenge, though, of doing what a lot of other people say that I won't. And I'm one of them. Achieving something a perfect king Giving me strength is the only way I could achieve. So I may be used as a vessel to bring glory to He who sent me. And it gets so tempting in life to try to find if we could really have the answers. If that's really what you want, you'll find out. When you're willing to accept the truth. You're never going to do it. You'll never do it alone. You'll never do anything alone. You think you did it alone and you didn't. You'll think you did it alone. We're collectively evil. I say I'm a lyricist for a reason. It's like my heart when it's beating. Going up 2 frets. You just wonder. Doing it since I was just a kid again. I'm kidding them if I'm just trying to say that I am new at this. I'm doing it for like a lifetime. I'm trying to find out what it means to be all in. I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin'. I'm falling back into my old ways. In my old age, I'm turning pages, turning crazier as I get older. And I'm getting turned around again. And I'm turning now just to turn around and get back to who I was in the past tense. I've been passing them and I'm back again. And I'm crashing in this old kind of crash course kind of life I get. I like it just a little bit better when I'm not in control. Freaking out if I'm not in control. Now I'm controlling how I'm out of control by being in control of my devotion. I've been devotion. I've been taking a little bit of a token of gratitude in the afternoon when I get on my knees and hit my knees and hit my knees and hit my sneezing on my dreams. I've been sleeping on my dreams. I've been sleeping often, please. I don't need to even dream. I got God on my side and I'm not trying to find the kind of life that I want to live. Am I right? I don't really care, I don't really care, I don't really care, I don't really care, I don't care, but I just want to be aware of false idols and prophets and all this just kind of nonsense. Read the word of God and never even stop, never stop unless you stop, then He will stand and knock, He will stand and knock. He'll just keep on knocking and you gotta let Him in. Let Him in like a letterman in your jacket. Just see if you can get over yourself and get back to it. Get back to this kind of life you lived as a kid. Because when you were a kid, you were doing this good kind of stuff. And now you just think that you can, well, maybe be better than the other person who's not as good as you. Or at least that's what you're searching to try to find. Try to find the faults and the cracks in people who all just seem to be, well, basically anything but equal. Basically anything but, well, we're all just evil. All just equal evil human beings. All just equal human beings. I think we're evil human beings. I don't think I need to think. I think I don't need to think. I think I don't need to. I'm just sorry. Sorry that we're doing it. I'm sorry that you're moving quick from thing to thing and think that things just leave too quick, but you are doing it to yourself. And well, I think we can just live in the belly of a whale. So, Jonah, why don't you just keep doing what you've been called to do? Calling you, calling you, calling you. I've been calling the king, and he's been calling me. As I draw near to him, he draws nearer to. He who serves the king, everything seems just to keep working for the good of those that serve the king. I'm serving he, I'm serving thee, I'm serving he who sent me, but I need to know where I'm sent from above, sent from a dove. I'm sent from a carrier pigeon. I've just been carrying them in my backpack. Actually, I want to set it on down back where I picked it up. It's getting pretty heavy, tough kind of life I'm living. If I'm holding on to my beliefs, I got a lot of things that'll make me sink if I just drop into the river. I got rivers, I got waters, I got rivers of water. Although I need some living water, I got rivers of water. I got baptisms, actually it's kind of crazy. Catechisms, cataclysms, caterpillars. I'm just inching my way along. Got line upon line and precept upon precept in my songs. Got lots of things, and everything we seem to do is long, or at least everything we do is something that we do, and lots of things we do seem to be pretty darn long. Got the long form content in a world full of lots of things that are just so quick-witted, quick with it. You're not so quick with it, you just think you want to be quick with it, so you just sift through the things that you did just to see what seems so quick. It's just a hoax for the people. It's a hoax for the people. You just post for the people. You just pose for the people. You're a poser and you're equal to every single person who's a poser. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I trying to just be who is right, or am I just speaking truth, dude? I don't care. Is there universal truth, or is there things that you can do, or is there things that I can try and I can fly but you can't fly and you can't fly? But then why are you so different from me if we can be the same kind of thing? If we think that we're all weak, I'm just no. Oh, like a nutcracker, okay with being not okay, but you're not okay with not being okay. Calling it all in. I'm calling it all in. I'm calling it all in, and I'm all in. I don't care if you think that I'm good with music. I just do it how I do it. I'm a lyricist. Are you hearing this? If not, turn it off and go somewhere else. I don't care. I try to stop it again, but it stopped me when? I don't want to be stopping in. I'm blocking them. Who? Myself, I guess. I want to damn myself. I just don't think I deserve the best, but God does, and so I'm not a son of God if I don't accept who God is. Being ashamed of the name of Jesus Christ, he'll be ashamed of me, and I'll end my life personally by searching for things I can personally achieve. I'm sorry for the things I do, and I think I need to get on through the hard-headedness I just seem to have and see if I can grab the truth. Jesus Christ is eternal life. It's a living water. I've been watering some things down. Each time I try to think I can do what I want and have that work out for me. Got some workouts that leave me empty again, asking for some refueling. The gain that I get always seems to just leave as soon as I quit doing the things I think I need to do. But if I do some things I don't think I need, but God seems to ask of me, then everything that I do just seems to lead to a progression that never seems to have an end in sight. Because there's no end, am I right? It's enduring to the end, and then we get eternal life. It just keeps on going. I'm not so sure I can fully understand. And that's okay. It's the 9th of January, 2026. This is All In episode 4. As far as I'm aware, it's episode 4. Oh. Doing what I can to be who I am and put aside all the likes or dislikes I might try to have. Sorry.